Hi, Urshka.
Hi, Anna. How are you today?
Very good. How are you? Sorry.
I'm very good. Thank you very much for asking.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know I'm coming in a bit late, but I was just hoping that you could help me out a bit because, um, I've been looking for a new career and I'm thinking this sounds like a very good idea. It's just that I don't have a clear idea actually how this looks like. So if you don't mind, I would have a few questions, and if you could help me out, I would really appreciate that.
With my pleasure. Let's go for it.
Could you maybe, thank you so much. Can you maybe just tell me, like in a few words, how does a day of a yacht stewardess really look like? Because, in my imagination, it sounds like, oh, you're on a yacht, you're helping the rich and famous, but, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff I don't know and I don't understand, and I just don't want to have any surprises if I come for the job on the first day. So could you maybe tell me how does a day look like?
Okay, thank you for the question. A day of a junior stewardess on a yacht would look like from early in the morning, starting checking out the interior department, if everything's on the right place, everything's neatly cleaned and put on the right location from the night before. Then you check all the day heads, all the corridors, and if any of the guests are up, you report it to the chief stewardess. And then, of course, you try to help out with the setting up the breakfast for the guests. And assist to chief stewardess to serve the breakfast to the guests or the owners, of course. Later on, when the chief stewardess is serving the breakfast, then of course you go and check the guest cabins and clean them up and continue your duties in the laundry, of course. And of course, later on, you are called to assist with clearing up the breakfast. And of course, you are more than happy to have your early morning break to rest a little bit after intense morning duties. And later on, of course, after break, you assist, of course, again with the maintenance of the interior, laundry, housekeeping, and of course, clearing up the lunch. And later on, of course, the same with the dinner. You get always breaks accordingly to your schedule, and of course, you assist with all the duties that you are required and asked from the chief stewardess. That would be in a very general day of the junior stewardess. I hope I answered your question, or you have any other questions regarding to that.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, it sounds like an intense work day, and I'm just curious whether you need some prior experience for that or some additional certifications for the maintenance of the boat, or just like technical things that you need to know, because I imagine it's not an apartment, it's a boat. You could get into possibly dangerous situations, I don't know, with a storm coming or whatever. So I'm just curious how, what all has to go um into a work day like this or a position like this.
Okay, good question. Definitely, it's more than welcome that you have a prior hospitality experience. Of course, laundry is very delicate department where you take care of very expensive and delicate clothes of the owners and the guests. You do maintain the interior with very, very luxury materials like snakeskin, marmor, etc., etc., where you have to be very precise which materials are like being cleaned with certain products or not, because they're very delicate and you are responsible not to damage any of the interior surfaces.
Gosh.
Yes.
That sounds actually like, I mean, it sounds like a lot of um, responsibility in many different ways.
That's why it's very smart to invest into the trainings for junior stewardess, where you get all the important data to avoid these crucial mistakes that can cost you your job, of course.
Can I potentially call you?
Of course, that's why we are here for you as Ursus Yacht Institute, to give you all the tips and hints to use all the knowledge and practical guidance and advices to work efficiently and professionally on a 7-star luxury vessel. Huh? That's why we are here
Yeah, I
for
mean,
you.
it sounds like a lot of details that you might not even know that you don't know how to handle. And I mean, I do have some basic experience, but I gather it has to really be on a completely different level. And somebody actually needs to show you these things or explain to you what kind of, I mean, these are clients that probably have very high expectations. And it's your job to meet them and, to understand those expectations. I think
Mhm.
you probably need experience, right? And to just start, like, that's my concern. I'm gonna come for the job and I'm just not really gonna understand from the beginning, what are these nuances, which I guess are the thing that matters the most.
For sure, eye for details are very important, because we do talk about luxury industry
Exactly.
where very high demands, and there's lots of money involved in these luxury villas on the sea from the owners. So for sure, it's quite crucial for you as a junior stewardess to know already what are you doing, how to do it, and what not to do in a certain way, because you do have to be professional from the day one. Huh? And if you want to progress in this industry and to do successful yachting career, for sure, you have to know all this important data that can help you to progress in this yachting career. Yeah.
Indulge me a little bit, please. What is the biggest no working in this industry, or maybe even, during the workday, or something that you remember happened? Obviously, no names, no nothing, but I'm just curious, what could be a potential issue that
For
you've seen
sure.
maybe several times? Or...
Okay. Definitely one of the very big mistakes that you as a junior stewardess can do is being late.
Mm-hmm. Punctuality.
Exactly. Exactly. And not taking orders from your superiors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Always being presentable, always wearing your clean and tidy uniform. Um, and of course, with the name tag and with epaulets. And of course, not to use any of the illegal substances like drugs or alcohol while you're on board. Even though we are working long hours, you do get sometimes tired. So it's very important for you that you stay focused and that you stay professional, smiling, and positive, with a positive attitude.
Right. So no partying with the clients, I imagine.
No, for sure, as a crew member, you're there to work and being professional. And when you are off, then it's time to have and enjoy your private, free and time off. Huh?
But what about, I mean, in terms of, I don't know, grooming, you've mentioned a bit the outfit and how to visually present yourself. I'm just curious, I have a tattoo. It's in a hidden place on my back, but I'm curious, is this an issue? Because I read somewhere that it might be an issue. So I said, okay, I need to ask you since I have this chance now.
Uh, Good question, actually. Very important it is that your tattoo is not visible.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's okay to have it. But for sure, especially for the stewardesses, the visible tattoos are not allowed to have.
So usually what you would wear for work or your work uniform would be short sleeves, long sleeves, skirt. What's the typical um what's the typical uniform?
Okay, for the day uniform, you usually wear a white polo shirt and a skirt. Either it's beige or black. And of course, sporty shoes, which are comfy to work long hours. And for the night uniform, which is usually after 6 or 7 p.m., you do change into the more elegant uniform, which is usually a black short dress and nice comfy shoes. So, and of course, you always have to have tidy hair, um, little earrings, and minimum makeup, and of course, without any jewelry.
Okay, I'm curious now, what would I have to pack? I mean, is the uniform provided for, or like how is this being taken care of? Because I imagine it has to be immaculate. I imagine, the whole team of staff has to approximately look the same in terms of the uniform. Like, how does this technically go?
Good question. You don't have to worry about it because everything's taken care of on the boat from the chief stewardess.
Okay.
All of the crew members are getting new uniforms. Of course, everybody's wearing the same type of the uniforms. So you do get new uniform when you get on board, new shoes. The only thing you have to bring is your positive attitude, working mindset, and smile on your face.
Yeah, what about my age? 'Cause, I'm gonna be open and honest. I'm gonna be 27 in a couple of months,
Mhm.
and like you hear mixed opinions. So I'm curious, like, what's the best age to start, especially in terms of building your career, or just yeah, if you can give me some pointers about that.
Okay, good question.
Right.
There's never the right timing when to start. When is the right time to start? For sure. My personal opinion is, as long as you are mentally and physically fit, you are ready, steady to go into this yachting industry. It's never too late.
Amazing. Thank you so much for answering these questions that I was really curious about. And the second thing, like I've made little notes about, what I'm interested to know. So my second big topic obviously is, what kind of money are we talking about? Um, I imagine this is okay, maybe help me understand a little. So you work for the season, you work for, I don't know, one whole day, or like, what kind of work days are we talking about, workloads, and obviously what's the pay like? Is that per week or per month, or how are you being paid? I mean, is that a contract that you're having, or you need to have some other type of employment? um, See, I've
Mhm.
done my research a bit, but there's not much information really available. So I'm really happy for this opportunity to be talking to you right now.
Okay, with my pleasure, I will answer to all of your questions. Um, Definitely, you do invest a little bit in the beginning in your certificates and trainings, etc., etc. You do have a possibility either to get employment for either for a season, for freelance jobs as a week or so, or for only for the charter, or permanent contract, which means that you can stay on board for a couple of years if you're keen to. The salaries are, let's say, for the season, if you stay on board all season long, you can earn amount of money which you'd earn in couple of years at home in average European country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Especially if you get on board on charter yacht, you can get extra tips if the guests are leaving happy from the boat. So I would not worry about the money because you do get awarded later on what you get invested in the beginning.
That's incredible. But are we talking now before COVID or after COVID situation? Because I imagine it has to be a little bit different. I mean, that was my rationale, you know. I thought, okay, I have several options. I do have you know, some experience in different types of things that I've been doing so far. But I said, okay, I think, you know, I want to do something else. And it kind of felt like I've been thinking about this for a long time and maybe now's the time. So I'm just, yeah, curious whether, what do you expect after the COVID crisis actually in this industry?
Mhm. I would say because it's a boutique tourism and private kind of way of business, private owners owning a luxury yacht, it will not make a big impact on it. It will just require more cautious approach from the crew members. I do have a couple of friends which are still working on the boats, but of course with the masks on and with the regularly taking tests of COVID. So I would not worry about being affected by this industry as it is. So I think you can be optimistic about it. Now during the winter time, everybody have time being at home because of COVID to do the trainings and to be ready for the med season in April. So that's why we are here, and we are doing everything that is within our power to help you out to be ready, steady to go. Huh?
Fantastic, thank you. So actually, what my next question was, the season starts in April usually, and so I imagine, like you meant, obviously, it's private owners, so I guess there's no shortage of jobs, right?
Definitely, the good crew members are always wanted on board, either from Slovenia, either from England, wherever, as long as you are keen to work hard with a positive mindset and you have all the certificates and knowledge, then you're ready, steady to go. Huh? And regarding to your question about the starting up the season, you do start the season in the Mediterranean in April and you finish it in October. And then if you're keen to prolong it, of course, you can do the crossing to the Caribbean and you do the second season from November to March, of course. So there are lots of job opportunities still going on. So don't be afraid. You just go for it.
Amazing. The world is big, right?
For sure, without any limits.
It is. Um, well, I mean, when I read about this type of work, I mean, I really had no idea. You know, like you hear about the cruise boats, and you know that's something that's kind of present. You hear about it, but I had no idea about this. So when I first heard about it, I was just like, oh wow, yeah, obviously it makes a lot of sense. But I'm just curious if you could give me maybe some pointers. I mean, that's something that I obviously want to discuss with you further as we go into, I guess, our coaching um, process. But I am curious, how do you search for a job in this industry? You know, because so yeah, I hear about it and I'm like, okay, but what, like, are these, you know, are these agencies, or how do you prepare for that kind of job interview? I mean, what's the entry point, I guess?
Hmm. Okay, after you're done with all the certificates and trainings, you're ready, steady to go to be proactive and look for the job. You do have lots of options, which are either to look online through some online job sites, and of course agencies in Côte d'Azur and in other locations where the yacht industry is present. And of course, when you are keen to get a job, you do have to be very flexible. You do have to be out there to create new network, and meeting new people which are part of the industry. Um, and of course, throughout the professionals like agencies, training centers, um, and of course, all the directions that we do have already in our base. Um, from the previous years that we worked in this industry. Uh, Different approaches. Definitely, there's no recipe to get a job, but we do have all the options available. You just have to find the right one for you. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was my concern, where to start, and this is actually where I was kind of hoping to get your help because, I understand it's a very specific industry and it might not be the same type of job interviewing, CV sending, that you would have in any other industry. So I was kind of hoping whether, you would be able to help me navigate this because I mean I'm serious about it and I just don't want to waste time. And I want to, I just want to be clear from the beginning, whether the direction I'm taking is good or not, and how to get the job as soon as possible or when the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
So is this something that you like, could I ask you to help me, or is like this part of your coaching program,
Mm-hmm.
helping me prepare for the interview, writing up the CV, obviously
Mm-hmm.
apart from all of the other skills that you've listed in your program, and I'm definitely interested in because I haven't had the chance, or I haven't seen anything like this anywhere else. But I am also concerned, am I going to be able to get a job, or can I count on you for a bit of help with that? I mean,
Okay. I totally understand your point of view. For sure, I can say been there, done that. So I would be more than happy to help you out with individual coaching, which would mean that I would give you the professional guidance and all the connections that I possess, that we possess in Ursus Yacht Institute. Which means that we do have professionals like connected with Ursus Yacht Institute, which will help you to write the professional yacht CV, which will help you to prepare yourself for the interview with the captains and chief stewardesses. And for sure, I would give you all the practical advices and the hints and tips where to be and where to look for the job when the COVID will be out, uh, where to be on the right time and the right spot, and what to do and what not to do to get your first job.
perfect. Oh wow. Whew, a lot of food for thought. I think this is it. I've completed my list. Questions for you.
Good.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's given me really a lot to think about, and yeah, I mean, just thank you. I mean, obviously, we stay in touch, and we work on this. We work on this if you'll have me, of course.
Of course, with our pleasure. So just don't wait for it and go for it. Huh? We're more than happy to help you out. Huh?
Thank you so much. Have a good evening, and obviously stay safe in these uncertain, strange times we find ourselves in.
And you know how we yachties say, safety first.
Exactly.
Ciao, ciao. All the
Bye.
best.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.